Forecast this week, Alden, but do you have any concerns about the lack of rain? Does it put us way behind? Where are we at with that?
It does not actually, and I'll show you where we're standing on our rainfall for the year so far. But otherwise, for what's going to be the unofficial start to summer, things are looking very, very nice for us, but you are probably going to have to start watering your garden.
Not good news, not what we want to hear, but I do love these cool evenings. This has been fantastic spring weather, really continuing. Sometimes we get into big heat waves this time of year.
Yes, we can, and thankfully we don't have that showing up for at least the next week. But as we look outside again, everything is nice and greened up. It's going to stay green for a while, but thankfully, even though we are going to be in this very quiet and dry weather pattern for the rest of the month, I don't foresee any drought problems for the time being. This also means we're going to have plenty of sunshine, so many opportunities to get out there and soak in the rays. Weather snapshot across the country, very quiet. The most active weather is off the coast, where we had this little kind of tropical-like system, not a named storm or anything like that, but it could be influencing our weather toward the end of the week, as it's very slowly going to be hanging off of the eastern seaboard and then try to make a turn westward inland for the southern Appalachian mountain chain. In the meantime, we can expect quiet weather for tonight, very cool again. As Doug was mentioning, temperatures will be in the middle 50s for most of our outlying areas, around 60 in the heart of the metro. But tomorrow afternoon, in the peak of the daytime heating, a few isolated pop-up showers aren't going to be out of the question, mostly to the south of I-64. None of those would likely develop into thunderstorms, and these would be very short-lived, kind of just feeding off of the air that we have in place, which isn't too humid either, so that's why I think they're going to be relatively short-lived. By 8:30, maybe a couple of lingering showers out there, but otherwise we're going to be left a little bit warmer, but still fairly comfortable. Wednesday also looking to be one of the warmer days we've had recently as we jump back into the lower and middle 80s, but we'll actually see a little shift of cooler air moving downward, moving southward as we head into our Wednesday evening, meaning the midweek actually going to be a little bit cooler for us as we continue to stay dry. Winds out the north and northeast means our temperatures will only reach the middle 70s for the second half of our work week. As for how much rain we have, Shay was asking about this. We're 2 inches above normal. We've had about 22 inches of rain so far this year, which is actually running a little bit higher than where we were last year. But as we head through the rest of this week, we'll see this number slowly dwindle downward. But otherwise, we're doing okay on rainfall for this year, even if we're about to enter a somewhat dry period. Forecast for tonight, mostly clear, around 60 here in the metro, a tad cooler in our outlying areas, and our hometown forecast for tomorrow. Would not be surprised if southern Indiana was a little bit warmer, as again, any rain that we see tomorrow, which is still going to be very isolated, would likely be falling south of I-64, and some of that cloud cover could keep your neighborhood just a little bit cooler. Here's a 7-day forecast. Really not too much to show you. You can see that decline in temperatures by about 10 degrees Wednesday into Thursday, still staying fairly comfortable. Temperatures start to rebound back into the middle 80s for Memorial Day, and next week could be getting a little bit warmer. We'll see just how warm as this week progresses.